Well, good morning, humanity. It's January 15th, 2024, and it's the favorite time of our week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody, my name's Paul.
Good morning. This is Bev.
And good morning to you, Bev.
Morning, Paul.
And good morning to all of you here and around the world, as they say on one TV show.
Here and around the world.
Here
Well,
and
we
around
are
the
around the
world.
world.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
for allowing us into your home via this podcast, video cast, whatever you want to call it. And today we're going to bounce on this great topic called just love. Just love and heal, we're going to call it today. And I'll tell you what inspired me. And then you just build on this. I actually watched one of these NFL final playoffs. I think it was Kansas City and Miami playing idiotically at minus 14
Right.
degrees. I'm like, what the heck? But I had to keep watching because I was incredibly impressed by both teams. Every time they would huddle, there was this little statement on all the helmets. And you know what it said? Just love.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, oh my gosh, here's millions of people just seeing the words into their consciousness and into their brain of just love. And I looked it up, and there's all kinds of reasons. You can all look it up yourself, but we're going to just build on this concept of just love that is getting into the consciousness of all of humanity.
Oh, wow. I know when you told me that, of course, I didn't see it because I'm not a football fan at all. However, what I do know is when you have that many people holding a thought at the same time, at the same quality, that is going to have an impact on the mass consciousness. After all the stuff that we are not liking in our world anymore was brought about just like that. That's the creative process. And eons of time ago, we all agreed that this is how we were going to do business in the world. Now it's not, those old things aren't keeping up with really our evolution, our awareness, who we are, who we want to be, and remembering who we truly are, all those things, right?
Right.
So now that mass conscious thought forms, all of our social paradigms, those aren't working for us anymore and they're breaking down. And so now here we are recreating in higher ways this amazing thought form. I don't think you can get any higher than that, right?
No, just as that simple word. And interestingly enough, again, it was on both teams. It was like the connecting thread of the competition, right?
Right.
Though we're competing and though we're beating the hell out of each other and all this other
Yeah.
stuff,
Right.
just love was on both teams, and I haven't looked on some of the more recent ones, but I think it's a whole movement of these players making a statement to humanity.
Wow.
The statement of humanity, brotherhood, that we're here to just love. And that's what our message has been for BioTouch
For
since the
forever,
beginning. Since
forever.
since that CIA agent said what he saw in the beginning of this teaching of BioTouch was a revolution of love
Yep.
you know
Yep.
and we'll just start with this one again from Gary in a different little quote he gave uh, beyond where he says the kind of love that BioTouch fosters is a high level of love, and then he goes on, he says the localization of mind focused loving energy is implicitly involved in BioTouch and is explicitly nourished in BioTouch establishments. I mean,
Wow.
we talk about it all the time. It's how
All the
we
time.
teach the classes, it's how we set the foundation up, it's how we have our board meetings. And we do that with, as Horace says in the song that we're going to give at the end, putting love into
Love
action.
into action. Yes.
Just touch.
That's what those football players
Yes.
are doing. They're putting it into. I mean, it's a thought, but it's an activity of thought, right? And it reaches. That's what I like. Oh my gosh, these guys are very influential. Evidently, millions and millions of people are football stars all everywhere. they see that on for what, 3 hours, and something's gonna hit them.
Right.
It's wonderful.
And I'm also reminded of this huge movie that's a huge hit. Almost won Golden Globes and Emmy, whatever. The Ted Lasso movie. Which is all
Yeah.
about football players, real football. If you're from England, soccer we call
Right, right,
it.
right.
But the whole show is about letting these macho men, these guys who are, and by the end of the season 3, everybody's hugging. They're actually men saying to men, "I love you. Please forgive me. I made a mistake." I mean, it's
Wow.
all about forgiveness. It's all about love. It's all about touching and hugging. And so it's inspirational to see that that's becoming the message. Yeah, and we're using men, right, as the
Oh,
symbol of that, of the breaking down of the oh, don't cry, you're a man,
those old paradigms of
right?
thinking about men do this and women do that, and men don't do this and women, that kind of thing. Yeah, because where we're heading very rapidly is a place of equality, and in many ways, the one of the problems has been those roles that have been given to men and women. It's kept us separate. And we've been down the road of the goddess. That was an ancient thing. Now, for some time, it's been the masculine, aggressiveness and all that. It's time for partnership. It's time
Yeah.
that both of those two stepped in together.
And
Yeah,
so that healing, that's the presentation of BioTouch.
yeah.
Anybody can do it. It's as simple as taking the index and middle finger of each hand, lightly touching another human being on
Yes.
the skin, and helping the body heal with
Right.
just love. And so let's go over a couple of things here. One of them is Masaru Emoto, who's now dead. He did some research, if you haven't
Yeah.
read his books yet, on water and putting love into water
Yeah.
and the difference of it. And I'm just going to show you. This is a little book that he wrote, The Secret of Water, and it's a children's book, really cool
Yes.
book. And he shows on a page here, uh, there we go, can we see it?
Different emotions and how it affects
Yeah,
water.
and so you can see the one that's all crystallized. That's a crystal that was formed with the word love. And on the right, it was you fool, and you see how it's all just dissipated. And he
Paid off.
showed that over and over and over by just putting the words love on a water bottle or on your cup or whatever, or just saying it as you have a
Saying it.
sip,
Yep.
changes the structure of the water. And he showed it with music and he showed it with all kinds. So if you
I
want to
know.
see Emoto and water, there's a good example of just love, and healing begins to happen. Besides
Yes.
the man you just love quoting, Bruce Lipton.
Yep. The whole key to, if possible, it's very possible to change the story in ourselves, but it's possible only through changing it in love. In love. Not with love, but in love. You have to be in love.
Right.
That's a whole wonderful thing. That's what happens with BioTouch. I always think, oh my gosh, I get to stand in front of another amazing human being, and in love, I'm going to touch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's simple, just like the phrase, just love. What we're sharing here is not something that takes an eon of time to learn. You don't have to center yourself. It's implicit in the touch itself. I think Gary actually says that here in the end of that quote that I didn't finish with. Let's look it up. He says, yeah, we might rephrase my statement slightly and say energy flows where the loving touch goes.
That's beautiful.
The high level love that BioTouch fosters in its practitioners is palpable.
Ooh, what a great word.
It's just through just touch.
Yeah.
There's no mind involved with it. You
Right.
don't have to center yourself. You don't have to be an all kind, loving person. You see, where we get it all whacked out in our brain.
I
You
know.
can be a
Yeah.
jerk, as I've always said, and you've agreed to 100% because I've proven it.
I love you though.
In love, yes.
Yep.
So that's the beauty, is that there is something that we have that we are sharing here every week. You can go to our website, justtouch.com, and put it into practice. We have a little thing called a 21-day challenge. The
Mhm.
best way to put just love into action is you have to create a new habit.
Yes.
And habits, with BioTouch, we have this 21-day challenge that there's 3 phases of it. Excuse me. The first phase is just doing the greeting with another person. Now that's a 30-second challenge for 21 days.
Yeah.
30
Right. What do we
seconds.
always say? Aren't you worth 30 seconds?
Right.
Actually, if you take the two people, that's a combination of 30. 15 seconds to do the greeting.
Right. Each one of you. Right.
Right.
And what's interesting, we send that email out and a reminder and, oh, congratulations. And I've been getting a lot of feedback of people going, oh, I'm sorry I didn't quite complete it, and on and on. But you know something? The fact that they interacted,
Yeah.
the fact that they thought about it, the fact
Right.
that they realized they didn't carry through with the full 21 days, that's a change in the deepest seat of consciousness.
It is. I agree.
You
Yep.
know, they
You bet.
realized they didn't do the full 21 days, but you've recognized it. So it's not even about, oh my God, there's a pass or fail. If you don't do 21 days, you
Right.
failed the test.
Who's the guy that's going to grade you? That's what I want to know, right?
Bev will come out of the skies,
Oh yeah.
and hover above your
You
body.
failed.
So no, there is no failing here. It's just about, we're
No.
just trying to create a thought of just love, of just
Yep.
touch, to bring healing to humanity, because it is time. What did you say? What's the divine idea whose
Uh,
time has come?
Yeah, BioTouch is a divine idea. I mean, seriously, you cannot get any higher or more divine than the thought of love. But it is time that its time has come. And it's not just the technique itself, because that will give us a tool to open up what's coming, this loving each other and caring for each other. It's all of us, because you were saying before, you don't have to do this. It's already who we are.
Yes.
So we have to strip away and reprogram. That's what BioTouch helps the body to do, kind of reprogram itself, in that self-awareness that we constantly talk about.
Right.
And I mean, golly, it's something palpable
Yes.
in that way too, right?
You
You
know
can
it,
you can actually, yeah, you have it.
and if it can change water crystals,
Yeah,
and have them
beautiful.
amazingly beautiful, and
Yes.
it's can help change the cells in our makeup.
Yep.
It's no longer the theory of, well, your father and your mother had it, so you're going to have it. you know
And Dr. Lipton was a big one on that one too. So
yeah,
that's really
yeah,
backs
we
up
do
what
not
his,
have to carry our
right,
problems of our past any longer.
right, right.
And it's a powerful time on the planet. It's a transformative time. It's funny, we went to a stargazing thing, and the telescopes were on some of these nebulae, and
Oh
there's the
yeah.
Orion Nebulae and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And the guy was telling us, you're looking at something that's actually thousands, 10,000 years old.
Yes. Wrap your brain around that.
And I'm like, so, and he says, and it's getting bigger. He said, so I said, so if I come back in another few thousand years, it'll be a lot bigger than it is now. And the guy goes, yeah, and I'll be here to show it to you.
Well, you want to hear something wonderful on that level? I'll make this very quick, but here's when you think about this, you think something is really going on. So in this constellation called Gemini, we have the two brothers, Pollux and Castor. One is one is representing the higher self, the other one is the lower self, personality, soul, whatever you want to call that. The personality one, Pollux, is getting dimmer, and the higher one is,
Interesting.
yeah.
So there you go, folks.
Yeah.
If we start touching one another, we will be part of the shining bright stars in the next. So in 10,000 years, when they look back on us, they'll go, "Oh my gosh, here's that Bev and Paul. Look at what they're talking about." So
Who knew?
who knew? So this
We
really
did.
is a revolution. It means it's a new thought form. And so that's why we're
Right.
here every week to talk about it. And if you want to participate in helping transform the planet, humanity, with this just love, just touch philosophy, please join us. Go to justtouch.com. Click on contact us or click on getting emails, click on getting the free first 10 pages of what we talked about, the greeting. If you don't want to do that, send us an email. It was on the screen, office@justtouch.com. Whatever it takes, contact us. And you know something? We answer you.
We do.
We take
Yes,
the time out
absolutely.
of our day to give you an answer. If we need to, we can Zoom with you to help you out. We have practitioners all around the world who can Zoom with you and give you more information. We have testimonials that are on there. But you know something? I'm not a keen one on testimonials,
I
but
know.
I am a keen one on trying it. You have nothing to lose. It doesn't really cost you anything to do that greeting and then note the result
Yep.
and let us know what happens. You
No,
know?
join the revolution with us. Yeah.
Yes. So we have classes also. We have a class coming up tomorrow. It is full, so you can't get into that one.
Oh,
But
when's the last time we said that?
right.
That's so
But
exciting. I just love it.
but we do have a workshop coming up. We're going to talk about prostate cancer and other conditions with the prostate
Related
because you do the
issues.
same sets. Doesn't matter if it's prostate cancer, swollen prostate, inflammation of the prostate. It doesn't matter. It's all the
Right.
same sets of points.
Right.
It's a interview with Steve Liu here in Tucson. That's January 25th. We do that 6 p.m. Arizona time. But there's always, if you get on our email list, we can send you the replay of it always. So,
Yep.
so again, we're gonna put on our helmet. We should get helmets for everybody. special,
Oh,
special hats. Just
I
touch.
love that. Well, you say BioTouch and on the back,
Yeah,
just love.
just
Yeah.
so join the revolution in humanity. Join the NFL. Join BioTouch. And just reach out and touch someone. Just like Horace says here in the song we're going to play, put love into action if you want any real satisfaction.
Satisfaction. Take that, Mick.
Yeah. Everybody, thank you much for joining us. Bev, you take care of
You.
yourself.
You too, Paul, and have a great week, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
If pain has got you down and you live in town, take a trip down to Pima Street. The people down there are people who care. They will get you back on your feet. Put love into action. Put love into action. If you ever want to have any real satisfaction, choose love while you still can. Don't even try to understand the healing grace in your own hands. Put love into action. I know you have heard these beautiful words. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Using BioTouch will help you so much. You'll never need anything else. Put love into action. Put love into action. If you ever want to have any real satisfaction, choose love while you still can. Don't even try to understand the healing grace in your own hands. Put love into action.